there again sometime, don't we? Yeah, nothing good. So, hey, I wanna let you know, by the way, with our free meal coming up, this last meal we had a lot of community people here. When I say community, I mean people that don't come to the church here. We also had a lot of people here from the church. We're also developing another group. You think there'd be people that don't come to church or people that do come to church, and there'd be no other third group. But there's this third group of people that are coming and helping on the dinners, and they don't come to church. And this is kind of like on the Thursday night when they come to dinner, it's kind of like their church is coming on. It's like they're coming for Thursday night, so that's cool too. Really, if you can, come and bring food. It's really a very encouraging time of fellowship for everyone, whether you go to church here or not. It's getting to be a very nice time, and we don't worry about the numbers, but we do have a nice crowd of people that come for stuff like this, and they really do appreciate it. And so if you can come for the Thursday night, the 18th, I believe it is, if you can be here for that, just to be here, bring in a whole platter of sandwiches and just show up and just enjoy yourself and talk with some friends and stuff. This morning as I was getting ready to work on this sermon and thinking about it this week, I thought about all of the old hymns and My Country 'Tis of Thee and all of the songs and how God bless America and all these kinds of things. And the more I thought about those songs and those old songs, the more I realized they don't really speak to the America that exists yet today. The America that exists today has changed so differently that whether those songs are even relevant anymore, it's hard to say. I'm not quite in the position of Pastor Jeremiah Wright, where I'm ready to say, God damn America. But it's getting to be very difficult to say, God bless America at the same time. Let me talk to you about this. You see, in our country, all kinds of problems where we send over drones to blow up innocent women and children in Afghanistan looking for terrorists instead of sending the Marines in to kill the bad guys. We don't do things in the way things used to be done. We have a federal government that spies on its own citizens and admits this, but no one protests in the street and shuts the country down. Hardly anyone even here. And at the same time, we have a Supreme Court that pretty much runs the country now. Instead of the Congress and the President, the Supreme Court decides what's going to happen and not happen. No one gets upset. No one says this isn't the way the Constitution was written and the way it was supposed to be. It just happens, and some people, it bothers them. Many people shrug their shoulders. Other people like it. But it's not the way our country was set up to be. Underlying traditional values, which are very important and help hold our society together, are undermined at every turn as being old-fashioned, unrealistic, and unneeded anymore. And as we see our society continue to crumble, violence in our schools, people that are uneducated and won't work and can't find work and don't care. We see marriages and families falling apart, and these things make us very angry, or should make us very angry. And yet it is to be kind of who cares? It happens all the time. It affects people very deeply. It hurts children. It makes little children cry with problems that we see with families in our society. And yet it begins to be an everyday thing with what we're doing. And many of us get to the point where we're getting very discouraged now. We're saying, what's going on? What happened to our country? Where did it go? Many of us get to the point where we say, it's not like it was. It's not like I remember it being even 20 years ago, even 10 years ago, even 5 years ago. It's changed so quickly, and not in a good way, but in a bad way. Some of the things that we need to remember at times like this is that when we have wrong expectations, we will often feel very frustrated. You know what I mean by that? If you have wrong expectations, you'll feel even more frustrated. If your expectation is that your car is going to run for 1,000,000 miles and you're never even going to have to change the oil, that's a wrong expectation, and you're going to have very big frustrations, right? If you say, hey, we're in America, this is going to be a Christian country, a godly country, we're going to live here and be God's people, and all of us are going to have the same values, you're going to be very frustrated. you're going to be very frustrated. Jesus said to his followers, Jesus said, you will be hated by everyone because of me. That's what he said. That flies in the face of what we often think, where we think that, we're a godly country and we'll all get along and everybody will like everybody. You will be hated by everyone because of me. There's an expectation that you can really expect. This is what Jesus said. Jesus also said, there is more rejoicing in heaven over one sinner that repents than over 99 people who don't need to repent. If you think, well, I'd like to help this country, I'd like to help this community, I'd like to make things better and do things better, but you know what? I don't want to do anything small. I don't want to do anything small. If I'm going to work, I'll start a program or something, but I want thousands of people to respond and to come and help to change the community. I don't want to work with just one person. I don't want to mentor one child or work with one person who needs help and direction in their life. I'm bigger than that. I'm more important than that. Well, guess what? Jesus says repeatedly in the scriptures, the one is really what's important. Focus on the one person that is important. You want to make a change in your society, in your culture, in your family, in your community, in your neighborhood. Pick one person and just befriend them and work with them and try to help them. You want to make a change? Focus on the one. Don't have some high expectation. And you may say to yourself, well, one person, work with one person. That's easy. I could do that. That's not a problem. Well, guess what? I'll tell you something. And this is very true. If you commit your life to actually helping people and trying to make a difference, and if you say, I'm really want to try to help people, if you can really make a difference and disciple people and lead them to Christ, if you can affect the lives of 2 or 3 people over the course of your life, you can affect the lives of 2 or 3 people, you have really done well. You have really done well, and you have really made a huge difference. And if you look at some of these family pictures where you see great-grandpa and great-grandma in the family picture, and then you look and they have like 3 kids, but all 3 of those kids have like 3 or 4 kids, and now finally those kids are having grandkids, and the family picture is huge. And it started off with this great-grandpa and great-grandma. If you can make a difference in the lives of 2 or 3 people, that in turn those 2 or 3 people go out and make a difference in the lives of 2 or 3 other people, and so on, it does become a huge thing. But so many people today in our society say, 2 or 3 people, that's below me. I don't want to lead a youth group with 2 or 3 people. I don't want to have a Bible study with 2 or 3 people. I don't want to go over and have prayer with my neighbors with 1 person. Who cares about that? That's not a big enough deal. We think, America, we want Walmarts that have like 3 or 4 zip codes. Okay? We want big in America. And yet at the same time, big drives us nuts sometimes too. We know big is not always best. It is often the one person. You find one young person, one lonely person, one hurting person in your family, in your neighborhood, maybe your neighbor or in your church. If you can make a difference with that one person, if over the course of your life, if you can affect 2 or 3 people, you have made a huge change. And you're making a change in this community for the better. Another expectation is that Jesus said, small is the gate and narrow is the road that leads to life, and few find it. Sometimes we think this should be more of a godly nation, and we're frustrated because this isn't such a godly nation, and wish it was more of a godly nation. And what I mean by that is people trying to do things the biblical way, respecting God to a point where it's like a fear. And that if you're not going to do God's way, you will fear God. If you're going to live in a way that you're shaking your fist at Him, that you would fear Him too much to do that. We think people should be that way. We're frustrated when they're not. But Jesus said it's very few people that are really living for God. It's not the majority. It's not 99%. It's not even 60% or 45%. It's 2 or 3% of the people in this country that are really living for God. The road is narrow. The gate is small. We should not be frustrated when we see many ungodly people in our country, and we continue to hear in the news Matthew chapter 5. If you're in the blue Bibles there, it's on page 1505. In Matthew chapter 5, and in verse 13, Jesus says to his followers, and these words are just as relevant to us today. He says to his followers, he says, "You are the salt of the earth, but if the salt loses its saltiness, how can it be made salty again? It is no longer good for anything except to be thrown out and trampled underfoot. You are the light of the world, but a town built on a hill cannot be hidden. And neither do people light a lamp and put it under a bowl. Instead, they put it on a stand, and it gives light to everyone in the house. In the same way, let your light shine before others, that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven." It starts off here, Jesus talks about salt. Here in America, we love salt. If I get an order of French fries, I don't even have to taste them. I'm slapping the salt on them right away. Jesus says to his followers, "You are salt. You are the salt." And what did he mean by that? And when he first said those words, the people that were listening to him, what did they think about when they heard about that? Well, back in Jesus' day, some of you are pretty old. You might remember some of this stuff. Back in Jesus' day, they had no refrigerators, but they still liked food, I would imagine. And when you have no refrigerator and there's no way to keep things cool and keep them preserved, they had to slap salt on the meat to keep it preserved, to keep it from rotting. Jesus says to his disciples, to his followers, he says, "You are the salt of the earth." One of the main ideas in his followers' minds would have been, we are like a preservative. We are here to keep things from going totally rotten. We are here to keep things from decaying. And we are. We are here as Jesus' followers. You take all of the Christians off this world right now. You take all the Christians off this world, what will happen? How long will the rest of society be able to stand before they'd all just be shooting each other? Okay? You pull out all the true Christians right now, and things will go downhill really fast. We have got to be the salt of the earth in the sense that we are keeping things pure. We are keeping things preserved. When you're at work and your boss indicates that it's time to do something that goes against your integrity, when your boss says it's time to do something dishonest, it is time for you to stand up and say, I don't feel comfortable with that. I'm not going to do that. We have got to be the salt of the earth, keeping this earth going from even worse. But again, what else besides preserving things? Of course, we think of salt in a very different way. We don't think of salt as a preservative. We think of salt as being a enhancer. That we put it on. You can have mashed potatoes, and they're not very good. Just mashed potatoes. You think they'd be good, but even Colonel Sanders mashed potatoes, they're not very good without the salt. Take away the salt, and it's kind of boring, kind of bland. Okay? We tell you what, we sang that song this morning. I believe in you, Lord. I believe in Jesus. I believe you died and rose again. You know what? If you believe that, if you really believe that, it's pretty impossible for you to be a boring person. Okay? Boring people don't believe that Jesus Christ, the Son of God, came 2,000 years ago, died for our sins, rose again, and is returning. This is not boring information, but when we really believe it, we cannot be boring people. Now, obviously, in a lot of ways, I'm kind of a boring guy. I dress boring. I wear my hair the exact same way that I wore 20 years ago. I just tend to almost always wear khaki pants. I'm just a boring guy. I drive a gold Camry, okay? You understand what I'm saying? It's kind of boring. It's okay. But when it comes to our personalities and how we interact with other people, we can't just be that. Nothing there. There's got to be something, and that something can be the love of Jesus Christ, our passion to serve Him, our willingness to go and rise over our fears and talk to people about Christ and talk about our faith. All of these things, the willingness to move out of our comfort zone, the willingness says a strange thing here. He says, what good is salt if it loses its saltiness? Now, we probably say, you know what, I go to the store and I get a little brown container of a little more than salt, and it never loses its saltiness. And it can set in the salt shaker for 10 years. As long as it's got a little rice in there with it, it doesn't lose its saltiness. What is Jesus talking about? But 2,000 years ago, in Jesus' day, when they went to the Dead Sea and they got big chunks of salt off the ground, it was salt mixed with all kinds of other minerals. It was about half salt. Okay? And if they put it in a canvas bag and they carried it out somewhere and it got rained on, guess what happened? The salt washed away, and all it left was like the white water, hard water residue in the bag. It looked like salt, but if you put it on your food, it wasn't very good. It didn't have any salty taste, and it didn't do any of the things salt was supposed to do. It didn't preserve food. It didn't add any flavor, and you got all this whole bag full of hard water stain kind of stuff that used to have salt in it, and now the salt was so soft it's gone. Now what do you do with this stuff? You can't do anything with it. Just pick it out. Okay? And so there's a warning here for Christians like us and for God's church altogether. Don't lose your passion for Christ, for serving Him, for obeying Him, for reading the Scriptures and doing what is in the Scriptures. If we become a church that says, well, we all love each other and we're going to be here for each other, but ultimately the Bible's Bible, we're not really going to worry about that because it's a big social club. Jesus says, you've lost your saltiness, you're no good for anything anymore. You're only good for just being thrown out. Okay? We don't want to be in that category. We want to continue to follow the words of Christ, to walk with humility, to serve Him, and to serve Him in such a way that we're not doing it to make ourselves look better, but to bring glory to Him and to our Heavenly Father. Now, a lot of times recently, I have been frustrated, and many people have been frustrated as they see what appears to be in this world a great darkness that is spreading over this country. Families rising up in violence towards each other. Violence in schools, violence here, there, everywhere, random acts of violence, people killing each other for absolutely no reason, and then often killing themselves. This darkness that spreads out, and we get more frustrated and perplexed and sad and angry with this darkness. But Jesus says, in the midst of all this darkness, He says to His followers, you are the light of the world. Stop and think about that. In the midst of darkness, you are the light of the world. I'll tell you what, you go upstairs in the parking lot and you light a candle, and you won't hardly seem like it's giving off any light at all. Okay? It won't seem like it's lighting anything up. It won't seem like it's doing anything. But you come where you go into like this mechanical room here next door with no windows and basement, and there's just like a furnace and probably some ice running around in there, who knows what. You go in that same room, you go in that room, and you light that same candle, and that candle will light up that whole room. Okay? It's the same amount of light as it would be in the parking lot. But in the parking lot, in the light, it seems like it's doing nothing. In the darkness, it's doing a great thing. We have to realize that in the deepest darkness, the light shines even brighter. And if you remember a time in your life before where you felt like somehow this country was better, somehow this country was serving God and more godly, if you remember that time, you also remember a time where you asked yourself questions like, how do I witness to people when most everyone I know is a Christian? If you remember having that problem maybe years ago, does anybody remember having that problem? Okay? Because you won't have that problem now. You're not going to be saying to yourself, everybody I know is a Christian. It's not that hard to find somebody that you might have to witness to. It's become a pretty dark world. But the light shines so much brighter in the darkness. It's been observed before that all day long, every day, all the stars are still shining. All the stars are still shining in the sky. You go outside right now, look up in the sky. All the stars are still shining down on you. Do you see them? Not at all. Then you pick them out. You wait till night, dark Christ. You've been trying to make some steps and to really walk in his ways. As this world, as this country gets darker and darker, the light is going to shine even more from what you are doing. You are the stars in the sky, charting the course for people to find faith in God. It is so important. Jesus says, let your good deeds shine before men so that they might praise your Father in heaven. In some ways, this goes so much against the rest of what he says in his Sermon on the Mount. He says things in the Sermon on the Mount like, when you give to the poor, don't even know don't let your right hand know what your left hand is doing. You heard stuff like that. When you pray, he says, go in your prayer closet and close the door and pray there so nobody sees you. The idea is, don't do good deeds just so that you are praised. But there's going to be other things. There's going to be other times, the ways that you respond to things, the ways that you respond to situations and relationships, where other people are going to see who you are and what's really important to you. And when they see there's something different about you, when they notice that there's something different about your whole character, the way you talk, and the jokes you tell, and the jokes you laugh at, the movies you watch, and the shows you watch, when there's something radically different about you and everybody else, they'll begin to wonder why. And as they get to know you a little bit, and they see you going through a difficult time, and you respond differently to going through the difficult time. You know, we all go through difficult times. But how we can respond to those times can be so different. And when people, your coworkers, your friends, your family, when they see how you respond so differently, they're seeing that light shining. They're seeing that light shining, and they will be drawn to that light. Jesus says, no one lights a lamp and then puts a bowl over it. You know, lamp back in Jesus' day probably was very little thing, a little oil lamp, with a little wick in it. You know, similar to like a small candle. You know, no one's going to light like a little votive candle in their house to give them some light, but then immediately take a china bowl out of the cupboard and boom, pop it over it. It's not going to happen that way. And you may say to yourself, what's that all about? How do I let my light shine? Jesus says they put it up on a stand and they put the lamp up high so it gives light to the house. I want to tell you something, and this is Bible authority to me, what I'm going to tell you. I've never read this anywhere. I've never seen this anywhere else, but I believe this to be true. When Jesus says that the lamp is lit and it's put up on a stand, it's put up somewhere high, it's elevated up, I believe that if you live your life for Christ, there will be times where you'll be elevated up. You might get a promotion at work because your superiors know they can trust you to not steal from the company. You're going to be elevated up as you live your life. You'll be responsible. There will be ways that you will be put in authority. It will not be that you have lifted yourself up, but literally God will be lifting you up so that the lamp can be seen better. You will be put into some kind of a position of authority. And God is hoping and planning that you would somehow use this position of authority to even demonstrate to more people what it means to be a follower of Jesus Christ. You understand? No one lights a lamp and then puts it under a bowl or sets it on the floor. You take a lamp in your home, a little lamp, and set it on the floor, the whole room looks weird. Okay? You put the lamp up high and it lights up the room. When God lights your lamp, he's not going to then put you on the floor and put an ice cream bucket over you. He's going to lift you up and put you in a position to influence other people so that they might know about Jesus Christ. A city on a hill cannot be hidden. And as you live your life for Christ, people are going to see that light. Now, turn with me to Philippians chapter 2. Philippians chapter 2. And we're going to look at verse 12 through 18. On page 1824, following the Bible there. In Philippians chapter 2 and verse 12, the Apostle Paul writes here, and he says, therefore, my dear friends, as you have always obeyed, not only in my presence, but now much more in my absence, continue to work out your salvation with fear and trembling. In other words, let's take this following God thing very seriously. Okay? Let's not just say, oh yeah, well, whatever, I'm hoping all for the best. No, he says, work it out with fear and trembling. He says, work on this very seriously. He says, for it is God who works in you, for it is God who works in you to will and to act in order to fulfill his good purposes. He goes on and he says, do everything without grumbling or arguing, so that you may become blameless and pure, children of God without fault, in a warped and crooked generation. He says, then you will shine among them, among the unbelievers, like stars in the sky, as you hold firmly to the word of life. And then I will be able to boast on the day of Christ, that I did not run or labor in vain, but even if I am being poured out like a drink offering on a sacrifice and service coming from your faith, I am glad and rejoice with all of you. And so you too should be glad and rejoice with me. You know, Paul was an older man here. He could see he was coming to the end of his life. But as he looked at the people that he had inspired and ministered to and witnessed to and led to Christ, and he looked at them, these people were really the greatest joy of his life. He said, just keep on doing the things that I've shown you how to do. Keep on living a life for Christ. And he said, if you want to be pure and blameless, and he said, if you want to shine like the stars in the sky, then do everything without grumbling and arguing. You know, try to live a positive life. Be a person that other people are going to want to be around, instead of a person that people are going to want to get away from as quickly as they can. Shine like the stars in the sky. And if you turn back a page or two here to the book of Ephesians, right before Philippians, Ephesians chapter 5, Paul here, he writes in Ephesians 5 verse 1, page 18, 19. He says, follow God's example, therefore, as dearly loved children, and walk in the way of love, just as Christ loved us and gave himself up for us as a fragrant offering and sacrifice to God. But among you there must not be even a hint of sexual immorality, or any kind of impurity, or of greed, because these are improper in God's holy people. Nor should there be obscenity, foolish talk, or coarse joking, which are out of place, but rather thanksgiving. For of this you can be sure, no immoral, impure, or greedy person, such a person is an idolater, has any inheritance in the kingdom of Christ and of God. Let no one deceive you with empty words, for because of such things God's wrath comes on those who are disobedient. Therefore, do not be partners with them. Now, just asking, does this sound like it? That Paul is trying to say anything goes because God will forgive you anyway? Does it sound like that's what he's trying to say? Does it sound like he just going to all to do whatever we want to be happy in? That's not the kind of life that the Bible is teaching us. It's not what we're finding in the teachings of Jesus and the teachings of the Apostle Paul. In verse 8 he goes on, he says, for you were once in darkness, but now you are the light of the Lord. Live as children of light. For the fruit of the light consists in all goodness, righteousness, and truth. And find out what pleases the Lord. Have nothing to do with the fruitless deeds of darkness, but rather expose them. It is shameful even to mention what the disobedient do in secret. But everything exposed to light becomes visible, and everything that is illuminated becomes a light. The light is a wonderful thing. The light is a great thing. I've been down here in this basement before, in a truck driving down the street, struck an electric pole, and all the lights went out. And it went to be in a situation where you could see around and go wherever you wanted. It could be as dark as a tomb, and you can't even see your hand in front of your face. It is a sudden and abrupt change. It's very unsettling, to say the least. After it happened, I had emergency lights installed in this room because I didn't want to have like 40, 50, 60 people going in a freak-out time if it ever happened again. Or we were all down here. The darkness can be very scary. But we cannot just curse the darkness. We too discouraged. Realize that the time is coming when Jesus Christ is returning to this earth. And the Bible says that the Christians that have placed their faith in him will not stand in judgment, will not stand before him in judgment, but that our sins are wiped away and forgiven. And that a time will come when this world is purified and all the unrighteousness is removed from this world. The people that have been angry with God and have shaken their fist at him and put him to burden and all these kinds of things, by the way they live their life, they'll be gone. We won't have to worry about them or be concerned with them anymore at all. Hey, if I could have our worship team come up and join us as we sing this song. You know, I'd really like to ask you to make this song your prayer today. I'd like you to take a moment and just right now focus on these words, push away all other thoughts, and sing this song with us. Sing this song with us out to the Lord. Lord Jesus, we just pray now that in this world that it can be so distracting, that you would help us to be a light, that you would help us to be a true light, reflecting your light and your glory, not so that we would look good in people's eyes, and not so that people might think of us in a high way, but that people might think of you, and that you would be glorified, that people would be drawn to you. We just pray now that if we've gotten off the right road here somehow, that you would just draw us back close to you, and that by your grace you would show us mercy, kindness, show us what we can do in our lives to get back with you. We thank you, Lord, for all that you've done for us. We pray now in your holy name.
Picture my newest cousin. Aww. This is Maya. Maureen. she didn't trust me. She was startled, you know.
Yeah, of course.
I gotta go home and take a nap. I gotta let the girl from Kansas know that this year.
Oh, okay.
I was up late because I had to watch Pharrell, my brother and his mom was out. So I couldn't leave by myself. I would have been sleeping by 11, but I didn't get